Hey, shalom, shalom. How's everybody doing? I pray that this message finds you well. I know that it's been some time since I've recorded. It's been about a week. There was a time when I was recording probably every other day, it seems like. But things have just kind of shifted. But I had to come in and tap in, just giving all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High for who he is to me, to who he's been to my family, to my lineage, to my fathers. I'm thankful that I'm the son of William, who was the son of Daniel, who was the son of Freeman, who was the son of George. The Most High chose me to be born through this great bloodline, to be sitting here before you today, to be in their stead, hoping to be one of, their greatest expressions, one of their highest hopes, to produce a son that would reconnect with the Most High and have faith in his only begotten son in a way that is supernatural, yet it is ancient. We have to have an ancient faith. So many of us are still trying to relate to the ancient of days with modern lenses. We're looking through modern optics. We're looking at it from a Western mindset, having been here in captivity, where we've allowed the thoughts of our enemies to penetrate our minds and not to allow the word of Yah to penetrate our minds. So that's where we are today, family. And I just want to talk to you today and just wish everybody a Chag Sameach, or say Chag Sameach, which is a happy feast. We're nearing the time of Pentecost or Shavuot. So blessings to you if you're honoring these feast days, these times, these moed, these appointed seasons. When the Father said that he would meet us, he told the men of Israel to come together 3 times a year. Feast of Unleavened Bread, Chag Hamatzot, Chag Sameach, Chag Shavuot, and then Sukkot 3 times a week. You can go read that in Exodus 23 as well as in Deuteronomy 16 and 16, and 3 times a year that the Father told us to come together. So I pray that as you come together, that you're full of faith, that you are filled with abundance, because part of that commandment is that we do not appear before him. Now, he said that he would meet us. If you know you're coming before the king, even if you're coming before a great man, you don't show up empty. I have to post a link from one of my elders, Elder Micaiah, Doc Yehudah. He wrote a phenomenal piece just on not showing up empty. It impacted me so much. A brilliant mind, a brilliant scholar that really challenges us on a completely different level in terms of this feast day. Because when you come together on this feast day, we're ending the Feast of Weeks, 7 full weeks, 7 full Sabbaths, and the day. It's always on a Sunday. That in this time, you should have abundance. You should have something that you can bring, that you can give, that you contribute. You should have some type of gift. And even if you don't have anything tangible, and this is not me trying to get you to give contributions to me. No, not at all. Because I'm thankful to the Father that I posted a meme from Psalm 75, 6 and 7, where it says, promotion comes not from the east nor the west, nor from the south, but Elohim is the judge. He puts down one and he sets up another. In my profession, I've been promoted, not just in this world in terms of, podcasting or, in the Israelite tradition, But professionally, I think that it's important for a man to have a profession. All of our ancestors had professions. Anyone that tries to persuade you to not have a profession, what is your family known for? Now, me, I do a couple things. I do more than one thing because I don't believe in just wasting time. I didn't take a vow of poverty. I didn't do any of those things. I believe that we ought to be able to, I believe that I should be able to, I would like to be able to, let me just phrase it like that. I would like to be able to do certain things for my family. And if it means that I have to work to go out and get it, if I have to get up at 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning every day and rest the Sabbath, if I got to do that, that's what I'm going to do. Because what I do is not for me. Maybe you don't have to do that because what you do is only for you. Your salvation, everything that you read, everything you do is only for you, versus some of us understand that what we do cannot be about us. What we do must be for those that come after us. It's got to be for our lineage, for our posterity, that we could place them in a better position, even in the midst of very shaky ground that we're living in. We understand that war is looming. We understand about inflation. We see the stock market crashing. We see cryptocurrency flashing. We see all of that, yet and still there will be a remnant of those that are able to prosper, that are able to not show up empty on these feast days. You know, people look at, just not showing up empty handed. And you should, I invite you to go and read that in Deuteronomy 16 and 16. And I'm talking about this because we're nearing the time, we're in the season of Shavuot, Pentecost, 50. We're in that season. And I pray that you are blessed. I pray that the hand of the Most High is mighty upon you, that the things that he's deposited in you are weighty, so weighty that you have abundance, that you have extra, that you have increase, and you can not only present a gift, that you can be the gift. That you can present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable. Don't do it to me. Don't do it for your wife or to your children. No. You present your body a living sacrifice unto Yah. And that's not nothing to brag about. That's not anything to write an article about or to beat your chest about. No. That's your reasonable service. It's reasonable. If you consider everything that he's done for you, that is a reasonable service. And if you can just get on the altar and be the gift, to be that ascending offering, giving of yourself, being sacrificial, so that all those that come after you can benefit from what you've laid down, they can just pick it up. They can just pick it up. But you can't be a gift if you're empty-handed. You can't be a gift if you're empty. If you have nothing to allocate, to distribute, to relegate to anyone else, you can't do it. Who's going to be your beneficiary if you're empty? Who's going to benefit from your sacrifice? See, we learn what we learn, not just to try to beat our chest and say, I'm that dude. I got all the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, freedom, power, refinement. Yeah. Some of y'all remember the divine mathematics. Yeah, I was there. I was there at one point in time. I did that. Coming out of that understanding of the 5% nation. Clarence 13X and all that. But some of us understand that, what we do, the information that we're able to acquire is for us to put those things into practice. And if we put it into practice, if we're able to aggregate this information, this knowledge, we won't be empty. We should be full. You should be full emotionally. Men have difficulty with emotion. We've been taught in this system to be stoic, to be disconnected, to be emotionally unavailable. That could have been programming that were given to us as a child that tells us that, boys don't cry. Boys don't move this way. Men don't do this. Men don't do that. And that was just a damn lie. Men do cry. Matter of fact, it's healthy for a man to cry, especially considering that we're coming out and we're still dealing with oppression. You need to be able to cry, but don't go cry to your women. That's something that the honorable Dr. Thomas Murray taught us. No, you don't go cry to your woman. You go up. You go cry and you share with one that is above you, meaning a mentor, a father. You're having a hard time. You go cry to your father. Don't go cry to your woman. And I know that may rub some men the wrong way. Hey, I'm just saying we a different caliber. We talk about patriarchy, and patriarchy triggers a lot of men. And usually the men and the women that it triggers, they got a problem with their father. They didn't have a father. Maybe they say their father did something to them that they didn't appreciate, left them all alone when they needed them the most. I get it. I totally understand. But if you are the elect, if you are saying that you are connected to the divine mind that belongs to Yah, who is our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. How dare you take up issue and have an exception with patriarchy? And then you try to invoke Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. See, the Father's not going to hear you. He can't hear you. Here's why. Because he placed certain principles in the earth. And I've said this multiple times, but men whose heart are hardened and their understanding is darkened, they cannot get it. So I just say, he that hath an ear to hear, let him hear. And it doesn't mean that I'm better, that I'm superior. I'm not saying that. So I choose to take the humble ground. So even if that sounds haughty, forgive me. Forgive me. I spoke my breath. Forgive me. Because I want you to get it. I pray that you get it. I pray that you're in such a healthy place with so much overflow, so much richness and abundance that's just emanating from you, that you have enough to give to others. That even if your father or your mother did not treat you properly the way that you feel like you should be treated, whatever that means, that you will have enough forgiveness and mercy and compassion and long suffering and gentleness and love and joy and patience, fruit of the Spirit, that you can forgive them. See, it's easy to forgive those and to love those that love you. But when you haven't been loved, you haven't received love. Did you receive enough from the Father that you have increase and you can now give some to others, where you can make a deposit in places where they didn't even earn it. So now, because they didn't earn it, the Father has to repay you. You're on the accounts payable side. Does that make sense, family? I know that I'm going kind of fast. I'm covering a lot of ground. So I'm just going to slow down, because The purpose of my communication is to inspire you to go back and revisit some things, inspire you to be so full emotionally that you can be available to others, for even the men to be so emotionally available for their wives, where they can allow them to ask as many questions. Allow them to ask as many questions as they need to. Allow them to vent, allow them to share, allow them to fall out on the floor and have a fit, and you not even be moved by it. I didn't say you don't have any emotion, but you're not moved. It's just that we process emotions differently. Now, our processing of emotions, family, and I'm still talking about not showing up empty-handed. Men processing emotion a certain way is not about suppression of emotion. It's not about denialism or escapism. It's about us having the right understanding of these hormones, of these electrical signals that's coming from our brains that are being interpreted. It's us having the right way to deal with these things. We can't just try to avoid it. We have to address these things head on, spot on, because men have a way of just being confrontational, and it's good to confront certain things. You have to confront it in order to overcome it. In order to conquer a thing, you have to confront and address a thing. And that's what we advocate for men, is you don't deny, you don't try to escape. Let's have a conversation in our masculine vibration. Let's not be so quick to get angry, to become resistant, to get an attitude and suck our teeth. You just sit there and you want to react, but you like, I can't do it. I'm emotionally available. I'm connected. I got the emotional intelligence to interpret this thing properly, to not allow my emotions to cause me to fly off the handle. I'm not going to do it. I won't do it, because if I do it, that'll give my wife license to do it. She would have seen me done it and say, okay, well, that's just the way that we operate in our house. Our children would have seen me do it. And that's why I always caution men in terms of dealing with social media, attacking other men, attacking other women, saying disparaging comments about them because you're disagreeing. Your children, your wife, your husband, whoever, your mother, your father, they see these things. And you're teaching them how to deal with conflict. Oh, you don't agree with somebody, you attack, you insult. It's not the masculine vibration that the Most High wanted his sons in, where you can be railed on and don't even rail back. You can bless those that curse you. You can pray for those that despitefully use you. I'm talking about a more mature spirituality, a more masculine spirituality, because, make no mistake, the Father decreed that he was a he, that and a him, and those are his pronouns. You understand? Those are his pronouns, that he is the Father. And if that's what he called himself, that's what I'm going to call him. And some people may say that is antiquated, that's archaic. That's fine. That's old school. Yes, it is. I'm not a modern man in my thinking. I'm not Western in my thinking. And in order to not be that, you have to download a vibration from a higher dimension, because this world creates us. It makes us in its image and in its likeness. You'll be advocating for things that your enemies advocate for, that go against Torah, and you not even realize it, because this world has a way of influencing you, directing you, correcting you, inspecting you, and then putting pressure on you to conform. But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You have to replace your mindset, family. So now you're no longer in. We talked about being empty spiritually. How about being empty relationally? How many empty relationships do you have? How many relationships have you walked away from because of a petty argument, something that was silly? So it was, all it required was humility and an apology, and a relationship could have continued. But you were so immature, so empty, so void. And I'm talking to me, because I've done this in the past. Somebody could say something to me that'll just piss me off one time and I'm done. That ain't masculine. That's not the way that our fathers behave themselves. It's definitely not the way, the example of the father, the way that he moves and operates, being long-suffering and kind. How many of us have long-term, long-standing, durable relationships with integrity? Or did you throw away all your relationships because now you understand your identity and you no longer need these relationships, and then you give somebody that you don't even know, that came up to you with a shalom, equal credit as somebody that you've known for 10, 15 years? You don't even know this guy. I know people in the awakening. I know people that know their identity. Wives are leaving their husbands for other Hebrews. Yeah. Where people are still having man. When you start talking about, sex crimes, fornication, yeah, making excuses for it, having abortions, making excuses for it, getting divorced, making excuses for it, but yet have the unmitigating gall and audacity to name the name of Yah and to say that you represent him, and then say, well, don't judge me because we all fall short and you're not without sin. I agree. But committing a sin versus having a sinful lifestyle are two totally different things. Advocating for something that the Most High does not advocate for is a sinful lifestyle. We don't do that. He said what he said when he said it, and he's never changed his mind about anything. When you look at the text and it talks about how the Father repented himself or something, you got to go back and really study that text. You know what I mean? You got to go back and look at those words. You got to do word studies. It was an example of the Father showing mercy. It wasn't him vacillating. It wasn't him being uncertain. It wasn't him not knowing what he wanted to do. No, it's me showing mercy. So if you see the Creator show mercy, you can show mercy. So that was something that I had to employ in my life relationally, and stop being so quick to walk away from valuable relationships with people. Stop walking away so quickly. Well, they piss me off. I'm mad. So I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to leave. I'm going to run. That is spiritually and emotionally immature. And the Father can't use you yet. You're still learning. That's how he's using you. He's teaching you a lesson. And then you'll be able to broadcast that lesson to others if you learn that lesson in the time span that you've been given to learn that lesson, because you don't have forever. That timepiece is an illusion. And these illusionary moments cause us to err quite often. So if we look at being empty emotionally, being empty relationally, then being spiritually empty. Are you empty spiritually? Do you have enough? Does your cup runneth over? Do you have enough to pour out to others, to pour out to those that serve you, or are you only looking to be served? Are you able to serve them? Do you have enough left over? Or did you forget the parable of the 10 virgins, the 5 wise and the 5 foolish? You don't have enough oil in your lamp. You're empty. You're running out. Just remember, as you're giving out, you got to go back to the source. You got to go back to the Father. You got to go back to the author and the finisher of our faith. You got to go back to it. You got to go back to Torah to get more. And as you pour out and you give more to others, he will give you more. He'll give you more inspiration. He'll give you more information. He'll give you more revelation. He'll give you more capacity. He'll give you more fruit of the Spirit. He'll give you more of the Ruach HaKodesh, or the Holy Spirit, whose purpose is to lead and guide you unto all truth. And if you have the Spirit, you'll be able to manifest the fruit of the Spirit. But if you're not manifesting the fruit of the Spirit, it means you don't have the Spirit. You can never produce what you are not, or what you don't possess. I'm going to say that again. You cannot produce what you do not possess, or what you are not. You can only produce what you are. And what you want to be is a son. See, the scriptures in I believe it's in John chapter 1, it says that as many as received him, to them gave he power to become sons. Do you want to be a son? But if you hate your father, you hate patriarchy, you hate even talking about men being in control because, or in rulership positions, because you've never seen it and you don't think that it's possible. Hey, so be it. So be it. But that just means that you're empty. You're devoid of a right understanding. You're devoid of a clear, succinct way. And I mean, truthful, honest, righteous way of operating in the way that the Father would have you operate. Go find you an example that has fruit in the area that you're interested in. Man, my brothers, my sisters, find someone that can assist you, because that's really what it's about. And they will help you to cover ground faster than what you can do by yourself. I've seen time and time again, so many get easily offended, throw insults, accusations that simply are not true when they don't understand what's being done, when they don't understand the root of a thing. See, this, I'm gonna hold back. I'm gonna redirect. But see, the scripture says that in the end times, men won't be able to endure sound doctrine. We realize that the things that we advocate for rub a lot of people the wrong way because they've never been taught the right way. They've never been taught the soundness, the cohesion, the beauty, the righteousness of biblical marriage and right relationship and being in order. They were never taught these things. So I would assume that you have a problem with it. I would assume that it doesn't make sense to you. I assume it because it didn't make sense to me. But in the process of time, because I've seen people come and go. A lot of people come and go. But you have to decide that you're going to be stationary. You have to decide that what you're doing is not for you. You have to decide that you're going to get on an altar and be an ascending offering and pray that it's a sweet smelling savor to the Most High. Chag Sameach. Happy feast. May this Shavuot, this sevenfold Sabbaths and a day be a blessing unto you and unto your household, and may you never show up empty. Don't be empty-handed. Have something to give. Spiritually, emotionally, and relationally. Consider not using this time as we're coming together and gathering. Consider not using this time just as another concert, as another time to jump around and just drink Mogan David and do whatever you do. Consider, what am I going to do with my family? What am I going to do with my sons and my daughters? Do I know someone that I can direct? Do I know a young lady that I can direct my son toward? Come into relationship with her father, covenant relationship, where our houses can merge in order that they may know that, you know what, I don't have to get out there and date. I don't have to go out there and try to figure it out myself because my father is advocating for me. He's not allowing me to just be picked by some man and then end up in a relationship and then I'm a baby mama. Never got married. And when you understand that 75% of our women won't get married because they didn't have that father that advocated for them. They didn't have a righteous mother that would advocate for them to try to help them get in the position to where it's even better than the position that they were in. I'm talking about the parent. So consider using these times for that purpose, because this is your posterity. This is your inheritance, these children that you have. Try to direct them. Talk to them. Be patient. Be loving. Be kind. Inspire them. Be the example that you would have wished that you had. And I pray that the Father receives you. And it is a eternal memorial as you redeem your bloodline. All right, family, may the Father continue to bless you, reward you, strengthen you, cause his face to shine upon you and give you peace. Blessings to your house. Shalom, shalom.